to thank you to invite me. This is my first podcast. The first podcast in my life, actually, yeah.
First podcast in your life.
Never had a podcast before.
Guys, you are up for a huge entertainment session, and I'm sure you will get a lot of inspiration, motivation, and knowledge out of this podcast. And today our guest is my dear friend, like definitely a very special person when it comes to the sales, to the personality, to the charisma, and well, you will see and feel it yourself. And obviously, an incredible agent who sells a lot. And today we will get to know his story and what tools he's using and how he's doing all this.
Well, you're increasing the expectation. Now I'm definitely embarrassed. Thank you very much.
Alessandro, thank you so much for coming. I want to tell a little bit about how my first impression of you. We used to work with Alessandro in the same company, and we met at the party. Like he joined the company a little bit earlier, but there was a corporate party. And on the corporate party, I saw a guy who was doing some magic tricks. And I was like, oh, like, that guy is actually cool. Like, let me take a closer look at him. And since that moment in the club, I realized, wow, that guy will be an incredible sales guy. And he was a new joiner. And I was looking at him and like one deal, another deal, and after a few weeks, you already was doing incredibly well. And we can say that this was his first real estate company. So, bro, you just recently came to Dubai, relatively recently. Tell us a little bit about your background, what you were doing before Dubai.
Well, you have time, I hope, right?
No.
I was an entrepreneur at one point in my life. I born as a seller. I used to sell since day one. But then I decided to scale my career, upgrade my career, and I became a manager and then director, and then I opened my own company. I became an entrepreneur. Then I became a successful entrepreneur, and then a bankrupt entrepreneur.
Sorry, what the company was doing?
Massive communication.
What does it mean?
Well, we used to synthesize complicate messages for make everybody understand.
Oh, I need such service now. What did you just say?
Yeah, but we used to do it, actually, I used to do it offline. Well, let's say old style. I used to meet people face to face. I had a network of seller door to door and one call center. So I'm not really good in online. I'm not an expert in social media. Actually, I'm very bad in social media. I think I reached my first 1,000 followers recently. Yeah. And but offline, yes, offline is where the real life is. Actually, used to be. Now things are changing.
So it was a telecommunications, so there were a lot of calls involved and a lot of cold approaches on the doors, knocking the doors and selling the product. What was the product?
Well, several products. I was focused on renewable energy and energy in general, but also communication services. Yes. Mm-hmm. It was a very beautiful journey, but being an entrepreneur is quite complicated, and I wasn't at least a good entrepreneur, and at one point my company bankrupt. COVID helps a lot the situation, let's say, then speed up the bankruptcy, and I definitely escape. After this 10 years adventure, I decided to escape. I was in Romania back then, and I decided to move to Mexico to open a chiringuito. Every Italian has this as a dream, to open his own chiringuito on the beach.
Mexico.
Yeah, in Mexico. Yes, I don't know why, but it's the easy exit strategy. And I end up in Mexico. I stayed there a few months, and then again, then I met a week or 10 days before leaving Romania. She came pick me up. Now she's my wife and my inspiration in life, and mother of my son. Yeah, but nothing serious.
Bro, so for 10 years, you were managing a team that were doing a lot of sales through the phone and through the personal meetings. What did you learn from the sales perspective out of this experience?
I can tell you what I teach, not what I learn.
Please.
Because, everybody has a job. Everybody has a job. And that job behind is a theory. Of course, tomorrow morning you cannot wake up saying, okay, I will be a doctor. You need years of study and experience. And also our friend, the video maker, is not a video maker since yesterday. probably he built his own experience on books, on tutorial, on experience. Sellers, being a seller is a job, but it's a job without experience. I don't know why, but everybody used to transform themselves from a flight attendant to a seller, from a bartender to a seller, and successfully you are one of that example. But of course, the journey will bring you to become an experienced seller is quite long. Or you can study the theory of the sales. And that's exactly what I did. I studied the theory. I'm a real seller, not because I'm successful, but because I learn how to sell. And these books and books. I cannot explain how to become a doctor. Of course, you have to go to a specific university. And same is for the sales in general. Of course, the profile of a human being already include a lot of quality of sellers. For example, you have to be funny enough, secure of yourself, confident, gentle. And a lot of us, we have this quality. And if you put it together, you can be a seller. But it doesn't make you a real seller if you don't study the strategy of sales.
So share with us the strategy of sales.
Oh, it's like sharing the secret how to become a doctor. The rule number one is to wake up early in the morning and go to work. In this case, go to study. And there are a lot of chapters of this long book. Of course, the seller cannot conclude the sales himself. You don't need the seller to have a sales execution. You need the seller, a client, and a product. Seller do not know. They think them by themselves they can handle everything. Sometimes, But you need to have a prepared client, an affordable and trustful product, and a prepared and high-quality seller to conclude on sales execution. And you divide actually this, by the way, the 33% rule is my best seller. You divide this cake in 3 parts. 33 is the seller. The seller has to be well-dressed, well-prepared, punctual, funny enough, but at the same time, very professional. But the client, on his side, has to have enough budget. Doesn't have to be a dreamer, but ready to buy. Has to be motivated. Need to trust the market. And the product himself has to have the right brand in our domain, the right location. But you know what happened? The iPhone 16 just get launched, But you saw sellers in the Apple store. No, they are not sellers. They are a kind of assistant. They are the genius, Because the product is so good and the client is so prepared because of the marketing, then you don't need a seller. And same happen when you have a very good seller and a very ready client. You don't even need the product. It's ready to buy whatever. Mm-hmm. So this is let's say the rule number one is the theory behind the sell. And you can apply it almost in every market. Our job is quite easy.
You are an agent in Dubai. You, by some reason, 2 months passed, you don't have a deal. What should you change out of this formula?
Well, that's a complicated question. It can be many, many reasons. Probably you're scared. One of the most common issue of my colleagues and people that I met in this small journey inside this real estate company is people easily get scared. After 1 week without a deal, okay, it's only 1 week. After 2 weeks without a deal, okay, maybe 2 weeks is the season. The problem is outside, is the market, is too hot. The school just start, is Christmas or is New Year's Eve? No, I don't believe it. It, of course, depends on you and how confident you are. But, I'm here in this podcast because of human relation. You invite me because you like me. But why you like me? Of course, there is a strategy behind. I act in a way they allowed you to like me. So your action come from me. Actually, your action is a reaction. Mm-hmm. So being confident, build the right relation with your customer. Make sure that everybody around you knows exactly what you're doing. And build the trust around you because, you have an opinion about the market, you have an opinion about the developer, you have an opinion about, and you share your opinion in a very concrete and easy way, then people will attract you. People will approach you. You will attract people, and the sales is kind of natural. But I saw agent getting quite frustrating and stressed because of the lack of sales, and you can easy feel it as a client. I don't want to buy from a stressed agent. I don't want to buy from an agent who sounds desperate, for example. And it's quite easy because after 3 weeks or 2 months without any sale, you're scared, you're desperate, you are frustrated, and then frustration is easily to recognize, and the client will feel it, and it doesn't trust you anymore because, So self-control is one of the key for sure. But the profile of the perfect agent is not only self-control. It's a lot of other things.
Yeah, you mentioned like he needs to be well-dressed, charismatic, good sense of humor.
Oh, definitely.
And this is
yes.
your qualities. If somebody doesn't have a good sense of humor, he is...
Of course, he cannot participate on the sales execution for the maximums, for the 33%. Because if the sales execution is 100% and the agent can impact only on his 33%, if he's not well-dressed or if he's not punctual, it's going to impact for his 29. But sometimes it doesn't really matter. I have a friend of mine who is a really unpleasant person. He's one of the best performers I ever met, but he's not funny at all. He has a perfect network. You know the guy. And he has a perfect network. He's very, very good in relation. He speaks Russian, and his Russian speech is poetic. He speaks very, very well. So he doesn't need to be funny and have a good sense of humor. But he's not on his 33%. Let's say that he's on his 30%. It doesn't impact on a sales execution. It's not perfect, but nobody is, okay, with some exception.
Okay, you mentioned trust. Everybody are talking about trust. You need to build a trustworthy relationship with the client. And you said that you need to tell your opinion about this and that, about the projects, about the developers. So how often do you say that some negative feedback about the projects? Walk us through some of the things that helps you to build trust better with the client.
Brother, listen, I'm not an expert on Dubai real estate market.
At all.
At all.
By the way, finally we can put a face to my words when I was saying like I have somebody who is not an expert but he's selling like crazy. Because some new joiners, they spend months starting before they can start talking with the clients. And I'm saying, guys, it's not the way. Like this is the way. Okay, so
I'm not an expert in real estate. I'm an expert in sales. That's it. And if I don't remember wrong, I sold you an apartment, right?
Yes.
It's true.
Yeah.
So you have to imagine, brother, that we are making a little bit complicated. Every single real estate agent is building his own brand, is building his own story. He try to be respectful. He try to build the trust. But it's a little bit easier, I guess. At least my approach is easier. This market doesn't need us. This market is a beautiful, big, sweet, juicy cake. And we agent, we are just the cherry on top. Of course, we are bright and we scream, I'm the cherry! But the cake is there even without. It is tasty at the same time, even without the cherry on top. So we just have to act accordingly. We are the cherry. Of course, we make a big difference because now the cake is better, is more beautiful. But the cake was there even without the cherry. And the cake is there. It is full of beautiful content. Dubai 2040, the vision of His Highness. And at the same time, the fact that the rest of the world is definitely falling apart. So Dubai is just the normal place. It's not a normal place. It's the normal place. Without woke culture, without immigration issue, without criminality, without taxation. So Dubai do not really need us to sell. And we are 50,000, I don't know how many agents screaming on top of this cake, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. We make things complicated. Clients will buy anyway. They are here not for us. They are here for the cake. They are here for Dubai. So when you explain this to a client, You end up with a very easy and provocatory sentence. Now I explain you my vision about Dubai. Please, go to another agent. Go to other two, and then come back, and you will see the difference. They will try to sell you the last unit. Well, it's quite common in our market. The last unit available. Bro, what's the last time you bought the last unit of something? Think about it. If you go to a commercial center, if you go to Carrefour, and you see the last box of cookies that you really like, and the rest of the shelf is empty, and there is only the last box, are you sure you want to buy something nobody bought before you? If nobody bought it, something wrong with that last unit. So I don't believe on the last unit strategy. I believe in something a little bit more H to H, my second best seller, human to human. Let's build a relation. Let me explain you why Dubai is not a bubble. Let me explain you why, even if it's a bubble, who cares? You can have your own apartment anyway. And definitely the view that I will provide you is better than the view than you have home in your country. Where are you from? In Moldova. You remember what you used to see outside the balcony of your apartment? A parking lot, maybe, right? Here we see Dubai. So I'm winning anyway with any other country. Oh, of course, if in Italy you have a Colosseum view, is something that you can compare with the Burj Khalifa view. Oh, well, my client is a different target and I will propose something different. But in the average, the view, the location, the quality of execution is not really the purpose. The purpose is that Dubai is growing vertically. And Dubai is the last oasis in this planet. It's a place well connected from any other city in the world, and strategically located, with zero criminality, with one of the most outstanding lifestyle, really affordable for everyone. So we are the testimonial of the cake, but we are not the only one. If you scroll your Instagram, you will see tons of beautiful girls from all over the world having their selfie and tagging My Dubai. Those are our ambassadors. They're doing the publicity by themselves. We don't even need to spend money on marketing. They're doing all the job. And of course, when the client lands here, he needs to meet somebody with the vision, able to explain which one is the best location, which one is the best project, and without the last unit strategy, the sales are extremely smooth, at least in my case.
So agents are using this last unit available as an option to push the client to make a decision. How does the closing part looks in your case?
Well, every single client has his own story. I solve all the objection on the first part of the negotiation. So, of course, in the first few weeks of my career as a broker, I kind of record all the objection. And then I start to insert the objection on my sales execution. So when I arrive in the end of the negotiation, the client doesn't have any question, or just a few, but very rare. So I explained from the beginning, I'm not working with dreamers. I'm working with investors. I'm gonna help you to transform your 100 in 120, or maybe in 150 in a period of time. So this is the goal. And I'm not gonna show you how I'm doing. I will drive you through the journey, and then in the end, you will buy. And if you are not ready, I'm not bringing you on the journey with me.
Okay, so, and he's saying, like, I need 3 months to do this. So you will call him back after 2 months?
No, of course not. You need 3 months. If we build a good relation since the beginning, in these 2 months we can go at dinner, at lunch together, or I can send some articles, etc. But I'm not gonna push the client. If he's gonna be ready in 3 months, he's gonna call me back in 3 months. And I can tell you, if you manage to select the right client from minute one, he's gonna call you in 3 months. It happened. Listen, tomorrow I have a client who's coming after 1 month and a half. 1 month and a half ago, the wife called me. We are looking to invest something. How it works? how it works. What do you mean how it works? That you send me the money, I send you the key of the apartment. How it works? Which kind of question is that? How it works? It works. Then I'm a real estate agent. I'm selling apartments. You want to buy one? Oh yeah, but we are looking for here. But you know Dubai. Well, we like to see Creek Harbor a little better. Okay, I send a video, and I figured they never been. So I invite them. I say, listen, come here, check Creek Harbor. If you like, let's go through the inventory. If you have a last unit, we leave it there. We collect the expression of interest for the next launch. But you have enough budget. They start with $350,000 budget. I explained them there is nothing to buy off plan in Dubai Creek Harbor for this budget. They have to have at least $550,000 to have a good unit. And they took a couple of weeks to think about it. And then they came back, say, okay, we can increase the budget. And here I am. Tomorrow I'll meet him for the first time.
Good luck with them.
Thank you.
Alessandro, from do you have any country from where you usually get predominantly your clients from?
50% of my sales are Italians, yes, of course.
Mm-hmm. And the rest is all over the world?
No racism on my on my agenda. Of course, I have a Chinese clients, I have Indian clients, I have my biggest client is so far from Iraq and USA, one Mexican.
Talking about the biggest client, what was the biggest deal so far?
The biggest client or the biggest deal is different because the biggest client spent probably 150 million already, but in multiple units. The biggest deal is recent. I sold 65. Are you sure I can disclose it? Yeah, I can disclose this information. I sold a 65 million dirham, one full floor, one office from Omniat.
Office?
One office.
Oh, congrats on that.
Thank you.
65.
65,999.
Maybe it's one of the most expensive offices in
it's the best
in Dubai. Congrats on that. From where do you usually get clients? How do you build your database of the clients?
As you know, I work for Axe Capital, and we have a very interesting protocol on lead generation, and the company provides a lot of leads from me. Then you have this technology. You can be online, and then you receive leads. And offline means you're busy and you're not receiving leads. So you decide when to get online, offline. Now, there is a few months that I'm offline already because my leads start to generate referrals. And again, it's beautiful to see our client has a good customer experience. He liked, and then he refers somebody else. Says, Alessandro, can you help also my friend? Yes, of course I can. But is a dreamer or is an investor like you? No, I prepare my friend. He knows then if he approach you, in the end, he has to buy. So actually my referrals himself, they start to filtrate my new customer.
And do you ask your client straight away, are you a dreamer or are you an investor?
Don't forget, I'm a very funny person.
So you make it like a joke, yeah?
Kind of, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it depends who's the client in front of you, but yeah, why not? Listen, we are human. We are real estate agent. The fact that we are dressed well and we are driving dream cars, it doesn't make us so different from
Alessandro came on Rolls Royce here.
Oh yeah, but nothing serious again. It was just a good deal. The fact that we are driving these cars and we are dressed like penguins every day, it doesn't mean that we are different. We are a human being. And when you manage to make your friend or your client laugh or smile at least, it's 50% of the damage is done already.
So talking about your referral network, do you motivate your clients and do you ask them for referrals, or it's kind of comes naturally?
Well, also here it depends. But how to explain, Dennis? I used to talk about you because I really like you. Do you ever ask me to talk about you?
No.
But I go home very excited because Dennis invited me in a podcast, and look what Dennis did, and look what Dennis thinking, look what Dennis post. Okay, so you know that post being the more interesting person in the room. Well, that's exactly the key. Try to be interesting. Try to have a good general culture, soft skill. Work on your soft skills. Everybody thinks that soft skills are not important. Actually, they are the most important things in our job. So read the book and remember a couple of sentences. And then when you are in front of your client, don't be desperate, but talk about your life experience, talk about your book, invite him to watch, I don't know, a movie together. And the client is going to say, well, a movie with me. Yeah, why not? Like, you are in Dubai. I can show you my apartment. I can take you for a ride. Let's go for a drink. Are you drinking alcohol? Yes. Listen, there is a nice place. I really want to show you. Let's go for a drink. Hey, what about your family? What is your family? Why is not here with you? And then you build that relation. You don't need to ask to refer somebody after. The guy became your friend. You have to be able to build human relation. There is something that is quite easy to do it offline. Online is a little bit complicated. So you need to call, you need to mistake. Then I have this beautiful exotic Italian accent, and people are quite attracted from the way I talk. So, and it's just natural. It's just natural. You refer me a couple of clients, right, Dennis? Why? You don't know if I'm good as an agent or not. Probably you have just a feeling, but you trust me because you know me. I am so open, and I let you get in and know me and know the way I think, and you can easily see if I have a headache, if I am a scammer, and you get on your conclusion by yourself.
And you are very well organized.
Yeah.
How do you manage to stay on top of the game when you have so many clients, referrals, requests? How do you not forget to follow up with somebody and stay in touch with them? How do you not forget to nurture some leads that are buying after 3 months? Tell us more about your structure when it comes to the organization of all this.
Well, bro, also there, I have a few years of experience, and it's not so complicated in the end. Think about it. My wife has a more complicated life, because she has to wake up in the middle of the night because she has to milk the baby, and then the baby starts and cry for no reason. She has to interpret the reason and put the baby on sleep without waking me up, and then she has to wake up in the morning like me and start her job. So she has to take care of the baby, the house, and she has to cook something, and of course something gets broken and we have to call the maintenance. So she's definitely more organized than me, but she has a lot of things to do. I have only one. I have a list of clients. I just have to remember to call. Don't make it complicated. Wake up in the morning and get organized. If you don't know how to use Excel, and if you don't know how to use a calendar, forget about your class, forget about your gym. Watch a tutorial and learn. I learn something every day. And since ChatGPT is on the market, I'm learning non-stop. Every single curiosity I have, I go there and ask, and then I get connected to some tutorial. I learn something new. Probably this is the secret. You have to be extremely curious to be well organized.
All your structure is basically an Excel file and a calendar.
There's a calendar, yes. And a good memory, then you can work on it, of course.
Mm-hmm. And you said that you're going out with your clients for the dinner.
Yeah.
Is it linked somehow to their budget, and or you take more or less pretty much everybody?
I take pretty much everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because you don't know, budget can change. Meeting me 2 years ago, I was completely broke. Nobody was betting a penny on me. Nobody was offering for a dinner. But now, and it's just 2 years. Who knows? Maybe my client is going to be multi-billionaires in a few months. So let's take him for dinner.
At which stage you invite them for the dinner? You have a first call and you tell him, let's meet for the dinner, or no?
Take into consideration then probably 70% of my closure, and now I'm going to open a new scenario for you, are remote. So I don't really meet my client. But when I managed to meet a client, maybe after he bought, or also before, why not? If that something then click and we get the connection and we like each other, and it happens most of the time. For the client is a pleasure. They want to know my wife. So I got dinner with my wife and the client wife. So we become a structured family, a really well-connected relation between me and my clients. I disclose my wife and he discloses his family too. So how many chances? Then after a dinner, then of course you pay for it. This guy is gonna buy from somebody else. You build a kind of a depth, Well, I just met this guy. He's super funny. He's well prepared. He's extremely gentle. He's punctual. He has his own vision about the market. He pushed me to meet somebody else before buying from him because he wants me to have a benchmark and see how other agent thinks. And now the guy is inviting me at dinner. The place is super nice. The waiters know him. The guy is a local. The food that he select for me is super tasty. You think he's gonna buy from you at that point, brother? How good do you think you are? So at that point, the client is mine. That's it. It's the relation. It's not the client himself. It's the step one of the sale. Oh my God! But I'm saying all my secrets now. Now everybody a lot of competitors in this market.
Okay, you said that now we will have a competitors. I don't think you will have a competitor. Yeah, even though you are an open book, you said like, hey, this is how I do. I'm talking about Dubai. I'm telling them, hey, go speak with other agents. By the way, when you tell them go speak with other agents, you don't follow up with them. You expect them to come back to you.
Most of the time, yes.
So okay, you give him information, go speak with other agents, come back to me once you're ready,
yeah,
right?
I'll tell you before, listen, this agent, then you're gonna approach, he's gonna propose you this and that, and he's gonna give you this last unit.
Yeah.
One of these 20 last units, because actually there's not one last unit. You have the inventory of the project over there.
Okay, so why it happened to be that some agents are applying such things, others, even though they are watching the podcast, they will still not do something like this. Why do you think this is the case? And I'm sure you were training a lot of guys as well in the office.
Yeah.
And there were no results. What do you think stops them?
First of all, one-shot training is not enough. As I told you, this is a real university. Become an agent is like becoming a doctor. You need years of experience. You need to role play, you need to train yourself, you need to concentrate, and it's a journey. And then, brother, unfortunately, there is something that is missing in the market. There is the talent. It's very difficult to do all this without any talent, Sometimes you can make it just with the talent and without any knowledge. It can work. But without talent and with a little bit of knowledge, then you get frustrated 2-3 months without deals. It happened, then you will close the deal eventually, because don't forget, we are the representative of the big cake. So a client will arrive anyway. So, and then they give you that little bit of motivation, then it's gonna expire after 2-3 months without another deal. So training is the base. Training on sale, not training on the project, because today we are selling apartment, maybe tomorrow boats, who knows. So learn how to sell and then categorize your inventory and try to understand what to sell today. But today, of course, we have to sell Dubai. But if you become a seller, then you don't have that stress anymore, because you will reinvent yourself easily.
Can you name some of the books or maybe courses or maybe some people whom you follow and who inspires you when it comes to the sales?
Not really. It's not a book. It's not a person. When I was quite young, because again my journey started 20 years ago. Yeah, 20-something years ago. I used to follow Anthony Robbins, and I really like it. But today, let's say then, it's not attractive for me anymore. Yeah, beautiful content, yes, but it's not attractive for me anymore. The books don't really explain you the discipline of the sell. Is your lifestyle, and the fact that you're reading books, then give you enough discipline as a seller. I am very into religion, for example, and geopolitics. There are two topics. Then people don't used to talk so much. Maybe now geopolitics is in fashion, yes. But if you sit down at lunch or at dinner, you start to talk about your vision about what's going on in the world, or the fact that I travel a lot and I can give you some information about New York, for example, or a place where I've been in Miami, or a place when I've been in Bali. Well, the people in front of the person in front of you most probably visit one of the places that you visited already. He has his own politic or geopolitic or I don't know, vision. And you start to share that kind of information. Of course, the NLP, it helps a lot. You have to study at least the base of the NLP to make sure then that connection is solid from minute one. So every single word, then your name, has to come from a strategy. It cannot be random just because you have to say something. Opening a lot of drawers in one conversation, it can make the closet fall, So you have to learn how to open a drawer with one topic and then close it before you start with the new one. And all these little tricks are not in one book, and there's not one guru. It comes from the logic of NLP, the logic of the strategy of the communication, general cultures, soft skills, and then you apply everything on your journey.
So learn NLP. Definitely, it's very important for the sales guys. And on top of that, try to be an interesting person.
Try to be an interesting person.
To have a good conversation. Alessandro, how big of an impact on your sales you get from your environment where you work?
Oh, very, very much.
Tell us more about it.
Very much. I'm lucky I'm working in probably the most beautiful real estate company in the world. I remember when I get in Axe Capital the first time, the furniture and people around and the way they were dressed, I was impressed because it was in my mind. I used to dream a company like that for myself. I used to want something like that, but somebody created before me. So having this space and silence and discipline around you is quite important. But attention, it's important for me. Maybe it's not for you. Somebody find his own equilibrium going to the gym in the morning and play with his own endorphin. Somebody find his own superpower having a nice diet and going to sleep quite early, or doing yoga. For me, it's very important to work in a clean and beautiful environment. Maybe for you it's not. Somebody has the same performance working from the car. Who knows? It is not a rule. It's important to identify what makes you feel better. Because to apply all the rules around the perfect sales execution, you have to feel extremely comfortable. And if you feel comfortable in the middle of the jungle, it's okay. Maybe it's there, then you get your best performance.
So let's imagine there is a guy who is a new joiner to the industry, or maybe somebody who's already for some time in the industry and they're considering a change to change the company. Mm-hmm. So knowing what you know right now, what do you think makes a good company for an agent to prosper?
Unfortunately,
just to give you an option, there are small company, big companies, something in the middle. Some of them are like in the secondary, some of them are in the off plan, some of them have mix. Some of the companies are focused on specific nationality. Some of them are working with a variety of this. So there are a lot of things to consider. Obviously, there is a split. Another thing, let's put it on the side. It's kind of obvious.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But what is the best combination for you, in your opinion?
I can tell you what's the best combination for me, but I don't know which one is really the best combination. Brother, I still identify myself as a new joiner. I don't have experience outside Axe Capital. I never work in another company, so I have no idea how it is to work in a small company. I can easily imagine that in a small company, managers are more focused on you, okay? And maybe there are not so many, the small company maybe is not so well organized like a corporate one. At the same time, in a big company, you can easily find good motivational example around you as the top performer. You have internal career scheme that you cannot find in a small company. One Italian company works mainly with Italian client. It can be an idea if you target only one segment of the market. But what if something happened in Italy and the Russians start to buy again?
By the way, Italians are on the 4th place right now, yes? And
Third, brother.
Third?
Yes, of course, yes. But we are always on the stage. We are Italian, brother. So I don't know if there is the right combination. But again, who you are Italian and you don't speak English very well and you don't feel comfortable selling in English and you want to target only Italian customer. You want a manager on top of you, 24H, and then you have to go to a small Italian company. Are you a legend and super well organized by yourself? You don't really need a manager helping you constantly, and you feel comfortable even having a conversation with a Chinese in English. Okay, then go for a corporate, no problem. So it depends on what makes you feel better. Because again, everybody are asking me, what's your secret? Guys, there is no secret. There is. You ever been to a lawyer and ask, hey, listen, I saw you're winning a lot of case. What's your secret? No, I'm just a good lawyer because I follow my strategy, because I wake up in the morning and I do what makes me feel better. I work with my brain based on what my brain want to eat. You know, somebody, again, it feel very comfortable to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym. I cannot really understand. If I go to the gym at 5 a.m., probably I will die by 4 p.m. You know, so, but if it makes you feel good and it helps your concentration, it doesn't mean that is better or worse. Big company or small company, but it depends on you. It depends on what you want to achieve. It depends from not what you want to achieve.
What would you choose?
What I choose? Well, I end up in Axe Capital by chance. Like it was a case, and
right now, let's say what your choice right now. Would you
choice.
still go to the big company?
There are something that I don't like from a big company. In the end, you're a number, okay? But maybe this rule is not applied for me personally.
Yeah.
You know, so one new joiner is gonna be a number for a long time.
Unless
in a company, unless you start performing crazy. In that case, this big company, the big company give how to explain? You know, when may I don't know. Maybe we will cut this part. But you know, with this, developer opened their door in a different way. I'm always invited to the best event. I'm invited to the exclusive launches, exclusive inventory just for top performer, and then they choose the top performer. I found myself at Alabar place. He organized a meeting with 80 agents only, and they picked 2 from Axe Capital. I was there. Of course, they don't pick an agent from a small company. Well, without this, I'm still myself. I'm still Alessandro. But maybe some door is not so well open, let's say. So this is important.
How is your point of view with regards to the lead? Where an agent should get leads from?
Everywhere. everywhere. I have a client who called me recently. Hey, Alessandro, how are you? I'm Constantine. Okay, Constantine, I'm very good. What about you? I have no idea who the guy is. But you remember 1 year and a half ago, we met on the beach and you told me about the real estate. Oh, bro, how are you? I still have no idea who's Constantine. I'm in the middle of a negotiation. I'm selling something to him, but I don't know who it is. Of course, you can find lead everywhere. And here on the elevator, I will find for sure somebody I can approach.
How would you how you will open a conversation in the elevator with somebody?
Well, it depends if it's a woman, if it's a girl, if it's a boy, if it's a man, if it's a family. My Trojan horse is always something correlated with Italian food.
Yeah. With Italian accent, it's easy.
Italian accent and Italian food is easy for me.
And then you give a business card.
Yeah, I give a business card most of the time, yes.
What do you think about social media leads?
I don't have any experience on it. Honestly, I don't have experience because I'm pretty sure a few of my leads come from social media, but on my CRM, I cannot recognize which one come from social media or for different campaign, but probably most of them come from social media. But I cannot really identify my potential client on Facebook or on Instagram. For another reason, there are so many influencers and so many agents posting things, then is, for me at least, is almost impossible to show off and do something different. I don't have that creativity, I don't have that imagination. So personally, I continue to build my relation offline, where I'm quite successful, and the online, is a dream for me to approach this market, but this source of lead, but it's
so
quite
would you say that if the company is not providing the leads, it will be quite difficult for you?
It's one of my nightmares. Then the company stop producing leads for me and provide me the leads. But at the same time, I'm not using their leads.
At the moment,
let's say there is a kind of placebo. But I don't use the leads from a long time. So my referral now are working better than the lead generation protocol that my company has. Of course, it's more expensive because now I have to pay a cut to my company, a cut to my referral, and then the rest for me. But the volume is quite big, and the customer experience is definitely better, and the sell, it's easier because having a cold lead, it puts you in the condition then the client is on the database. So for sure today, he received another 3 calls exactly like yours of somebody who's strategizing how to do something different, to show off and to pop up. And then you are there in line with other 3-4 agents only today. Then, hey, we receive your inquiry. That's a complicated sell because you have to break the ice in the beginning. You have to identify who your client is in the first few minutes. You don't have to waste your time. You don't have to aggravate the client. You have to call in that specific moment based on the time zone. Is a shitty job. Like we have to admit, it's a call center. It's a massive call center.
And do you usually call to your clients or you message them first?
I call them first. Yes.
And would you say that mainly your communication goes through the calls or just for the first call and then it's done to the like for me, I was always closing my deals through the messages. But I know that calls will makes it way better.
Calls make it more efficient because you can build a script on the client, things that a message do not allow you to do. The client is gonna ask you something. You have to push your client in the position to ask you something. Okay, and based on your client question, and then you have a perfect profile, and then if it's a good idea to send him a message or just say bye because the guy is a dreamer.
Got it.
Sending a message, it's in line with the other hundreds of messages that the client receive. And even if your message is super cool with a lot of colors and the brochure and all the rest, I think somebody else already thought about it, and the guy is gonna receive a message like yours. So it doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It can work. In your case, definitely works. Mm-hmm. But again, because it's the cake, not because of your message.
Yeah, a little bit of message, a little bit of NLP as well there.
A little bit of NLP, but the cake.
Alessandro, if you had a chance to give an advice to Alessandro 2 years ago, who is just starting in the career and having your experience right now, what kind of advice would you give him?
Wow. Only 2 years ago?
Yeah.
No.
If it will be 5 years, come to Dubai. Yeah.
I like surprise. So I will
tell him next week. Deals coming.
I will definitely play with myself 2 years ago. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil this journey to myself. No advice. Do your mistake. Of course, guys, come on. We are the synthesis of our mistake.
Okay, now let's put not Alessandro. Let's put somebody else there, and he's 2 years. Oh, he's joining with you the company.
2 years.
And you need to help him to perform way better. And you can give him an advice. What would it be?
A real myself, getting back in the time and meeting somebody 2 years ago, I will definitely sell him an apartment. But the advice is to, bro, it sounds easy, but wake up in the morning every single morning and go to work.
Alessandro was always the first guy in the office.
Yeah.
I was the second one.
Yeah. I arrived in the office around 8:15, 8:30.
He was sitting there already. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. Wake up early in the morning and go to work. Wake up early in the morning and go straight to work. And try to be the last one leaving the office.
That was the case with Alessandro.
Get into it. You know, it's where it's heavy. Is when it's hard. Then the muscle break and you become a bodybuilder. It's not the fitness to really help you to build that muscle. You have to be tired. You have to be there with your hand, with your brain. Concentrate. Hard work is probably the main ingredient. Hard work. And if you don't know something, learn it. And if you find an obstacle, break it.
Question.
Oh my God.
I thought it was the last question, but I have another question. You said hard work. There are guys who are working very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to do this, but by some reason it's not clicking. What would you advise them to do?
Because they work hard in changing ways or changing mood. If you work hard always on the same way, you build the law of the percentage. So there is the law of the average on top of everything. If I stand in a corner in a club and I approach in the same way all the girls who pass by, for sure I'm gonna end up with one of them drinking something together, maybe in her place. It's mathematical. But you never had to change your position. You never had to change your speech. You never had to change your suit. You have to stay there in that corner and approach everybody in the same way. So hard job and consistency. And consistency in your strategy, the strategy that you believe is the right one, the one who make you more comfortable. All my calls are the same. They get modified a little bit based on the client's answer, but they start in the same way, they end up in the same way. Then in the middle of the call, it depends on the attitude of the client, but my calls is standard. And I sit always in the same place. I always have the same view.
Bro, congrats with your first podcast.
Oh, wow, it's finished already.
Yeah, we're running out of the time, unfortunately,
No.
but we'll definitely have a chance to
Let's do
film
it
a few more to discuss how you work with the objections and some other stuff.
We're supposed to do it more funny, but it was extremely professional and serious.
What to do?
Bro, you have had an Italian coffee with one original Italian.
I had. And with limoncello after that.
Yeah. How was as an experience?
We had it with you, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Guys, thank you for watching this podcast. Share your insights in the stories tag both of us. We'll be happy to hear from you. And we'll see you in the next video.
And follow me because I have only
And follow Alessandro.
I have only 1,000 followers.
We made an incredible video together.
Yes.
You should find it there. I'm sure they will just come to your page without saying this. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, Dennis.
Cheers.